All right, guys, what's going on? This is Doc Jones. This is the Doc Jones Studios. Thank you guys for hitting the play button. Thank you for all the 57 subscribers. I've been having some trouble with my comments. People are saying they can't comment. I'm trying to work on that. YouTube's been kind of messing some things up, but I'm trying to get that worked out. So hopefully the comments will be up and running again, hopefully. So, yeah. So again, guys, this is Doc Jones. We're going to get into a little meteorite business, some quick massive earthquakes, and a little Kandahar giant. Or a big giant, but we're going to get to it. First off, what do we... June, what's the date, guys? June 22nd, 2020 years. All right, guys, so we're going to talk Kandahar Giants, then that's going to be last, so thank you guys for holding on. Again, I'm Doc Jones, and I'm going to bring you a meteorite that slammed into India. Another one, guys, another one. Now, we know several days back we had these 3 meteorites, whatever you want to call them, fireballs, satellites entering back into our atmosphere, whatever it is, but 3 of them came down over Puerto Rico just a few days back. More reports in and around that area where the magnetosphere seems to be making a disappearing act. And from Chile all the way to Africa, we have an anomaly-like situation going on where Earth's atmosphere is a lot weaker in those locations, and I think that might be why we're seeing an uptick in quakes, an uptick in these meteorite fireball type rocks. I believe, it's looking like these are meteorites and not pieces of satellites, but we'll discuss it real quick, guys. So thank you for holding on once again. Again, a meteorite slams into Rajasthan, India. So again, not but just a few months back, we had another meteorite that slammed into India. Well, now we have another one. This is as of 7 a.m. Rajasthan, India time on the 19th, back on last Friday. This thing, a shiny metallic meteor. And this thing, I believe we're looking at a weight of approximately just under 3 kilograms. I believe is how they're saying that. So yeah, just about, I've got here 2.78 kilograms this thing weighed. Kind of small, shiny, metallic, silver looking object. This thing, folks, it looks like, as I'm reading, as it's coming in here, from the Sankor area in the Jalore district is where this came down in Rajasthan, India, back at 7 o'clock, approximately 7 o'clock in the morning, back on the 19th of June, this month that we're in. Again, it appears to have created a 1-foot deep crater, and it looked like that the meteor that they found had dug itself in about 4 to 5 feet down in the ground. They had to kind of dig this sucker out. An explosion, was heard around that area by the residents there. They thought an airplane had crashed into the ground there. It was so loud, but they couldn't find anything that would make anyone think that that it was some kind of a crash. So eventually they found the meteor, and this thing was still emitting a lot of heat when they found it. They waited about 3 hours before they actually, I guess, really messed with this rock, and it had cooled down enough for them to put it in a jar, and it was kept with the local police and investigators. So, was this thing was this thing platinum? I know, these meteors, whatever this stuff is, that if we can get our hands actually on it, I know actually really we're supposed to really stay away from these objects because of the chemicals and who knows what kind of arsenic like materials that are emitting from these fireballs that impact the earth. So it's actually smarter to stay away from these things than to really go and try to dig and examine them. At least wait a while. They only waited 3 hours, but we're going to try to stay on this. Of course, they're not going to discuss anything like this. So this is coming from GS News. Check him out. Of course, Dabu7 just did a report on it. We're getting some pictures that are coming in of this object. So again, folks, meteors, an uptick in meteors. Again, an uptick. Now we go into earthquakes, folks. Okay, so back on the 3rd of this month, we had the 6.8 in Chile, a 6.4 in Indonesia the next day on the 4th. Through the 10th, we had a 6.0 in and around Ascension Island. And then on the 13th, a 6.6 in Japan. And then on the same day, a 6.2 near Guam. Then continuing through on the 18th, we had the 7.4 magnitude quake, 500 miles from the coast of New Zealand. Again, a lot of this around that ring of fire location. And then on the 21st, yesterday, a 6.0 in Iceland. So that makes a prophetic number of 7 earthquakes of a magnitude 6.0 or greater for the month of June. So now that makes 7, and we have not even cleared the month of June yet. All right, folks, Kandahar time. Now, I'm sure a lot of folks have heard about the Kandahar giants. This is going to be just a little bit of an update. Maybe you already know what I am going to discuss real quickly, but this is an update that I have found. Some of this through the WTF files, folks. So you can go check them out on YouTube. They're very informative. So again, Afghanistan, the search for the Kandahar giants. Okay, guys. So an ex-recon pilot, a U.S. military first-hand account with an encounter with a giant of Kandahar in Afghanistan. Now, we're going to go back to 2002, guys. 2002, Special Ops were searching for a U.S. Army control group there in Afghanistan that went silent. Had to go search for these guys, try to figure out where they were and what happened to them, and if they're still alive out there in Afghanistan, out in the desert. So they finally came along a side of a mountain in a remote location there. And so they're not going to say exactly where, but a remote location in Afghanistan in the side of a mountain. They found human-like bones outside this cave that they found on the side of a mountain. They got to this cave, guys. Okay, now outside the cave were bones and human-like remains. Okay, so as we continue through, guys, apparently it looks like a 12 to 15 foot tall giant attacked this U.S. Army control group. They said that he had long red hair and he had 6 fingers, 6 toes, and 2 rows of teeth. All right, guys. Now, apparently this giant, this cannibal, had eaten the squad, attacked them in the cave. This information, again, most of us have heard this information already if we've looked into anything with the Kandahar giants. But, again, as we continue, this giant was brought to America in 2002, apparently. And then, of course, you know, this is how they got the information. They must have obtained the giant, one of the giants. I don't know how many giants are over there in that area right now, but apparently there's at least one of them. So they were able to shoot this guy down, they were able to basically attack this guy as it attacked them, and they were able to bring it down and wrap it up, put it in a plane, and carry it back to the U.S. 2002. So, in 2005, guys, stories broke from Steve Quayle. Okay, Steve Quayle on Coast. He went to Coast to Coast AM, guys. And I think this was, again, in 2005. The story started to break more and more on this and what had occurred and what was going on. And it looks like L.A. Marzulli as well got involved. So Steve Quayle and L.A. Marzulli got involved with this information, this documentation. I believe they even went over there to that area. Again, both of these guys are very informative on information like this paranormal, this prophecy-like information, really biblical information. But again, folks, so we move now to 2015. More giants were seen by our U.S. military. They had seen one huge, like beast, manly type, hairy figure running extremely fast through this large ravine there in Afghanistan. And they tracked him for a while. I'm not sure exactly how long they tracked him, but they said he was running extremely fast down through this huge ravine. And they got contact with this. Well, they stayed in contact and watched this figure, and they got word in to stay with this figure. And again, eventually they were called off. So again, these Kandahar giants appear to even be around 1,100 pounds. 10 to 15 feet in length, and it appears there's probably more of these, especially around this area in the mountains of Kandahar, Afghanistan, guys. All right, so guys, I appreciate all y'all holding on. I've got another huge video coming up on the Pope, the last Pope. Yes. So that's coming up, guys. Again, this last Pope and was prophesied around, I believe, the year 1140 from the prophet Malachi, line 112. We'll get into all that, guys. So I appreciate y'all holding on. Again, are we ready to meet the King? Or are we going to fall under this strong delusion and accept the wrong king? I hope not, guys. We're looking for the King of Kings. King of Kings, he's coming. Get ready, be ready. This is Doc Jones. I'll come back at you. I love all y'all. Thank you, guys. I'll be back.